back, and we're talking computers with George Tate. He's known as the PC Wizard.
From Tate's Computer Services here in Woodstock.
Thank you for informing us about screensavers. I know that we just talked about whether there's a site that's safe enough to download from, and screensavers.com is okay.
I would imagine anything .com, you know, like there's so many out there.
There's a ask.com, and then you ask a question, so you go www.ask.com, and you can say, what is a safe screensaver? And they'll send you the site.
That's right.
That's pretty cool. We're going to talk desktop now.
Desktop.
What's the difference?
The desktop is just a background picture and the appearance of the computer. Now,
so while you're working on it, you mean?
No, it's just for fun. Like you can put your pictures of your kids on the background, or we'll do like let me see. I have this one here. Remember the one we said the hard drive crash? And we just apply that.
Oh, I see.
And then what happens is that's just your environment that you're working on, your desktop environment.
So all your icons will go on top of that on your desktop screen.
Correct.
Okay.
So now when I close this out, you can see that it's there now in the background.
I see. In the background.
Right. So that's your desktop, and then all your icons are out the front here. So you can have the kids. See, some people prefer the screensaver because they do it like a slideshow of their children.
Sure.
You don't need to be fancy like me with the Matrix. Now, you were asking me, once you've got a screensaver and maybe you don't like it, well, how do we get rid of it?
Right. So, okay, we've got stuff already saved, and it's showing on the screen, for instance, this. How do you change that?
So we're going to go into the control panel. Now, when you go to the control panel, you go to Start, and the control panel's right there on most XP operating systems. So this is what we access here. And this is where we're going to work with our sounds and devices. We have our systems. We have pretty much anything that we want to change or manipulate. Add and remove is done in the control panel. So up here we have add or remove software. So we're going to double click on that up there.
Now I got in trouble once for just simply using the term delete. You have to actually
uninstall it.
Something.
Yes, because if it's attached to certain things in the Windows operating system and you delete it out, it's going to leave a gap. And then the system's going to crunch when it gets to there. So you need to uninstall it properly.
So if you're installing something, you have to uninstall it.
Right, and that's where we're going to do it in the add and remove programs. We're going to find the matrix here. We highlight it, and we're going to remove it. Simple like that. And then it just takes a little bit. And it says, are you sure you want to do it? We want to repair it in case it gets broken. Uninstall it. Now, I haven't uninstalled this yet, and I know it's malicious, and I may have a hard time getting rid of it, and I have to go home. So.
Okay.
But we'll see. It'll want to take me on the internet. Oh, uninstall succeeded.
Hang on, that took like 3 seconds.
3 seconds. It's a very tiny program.
All right.
And it's done.
Yeah. And is that the same process for a screensaver? Because that was desktop, right?
No, that was the screensaver. The desktop isn't a program. It's just a picture.
That's it?
Yeah, the screensaver is actually a little exec program that runs on your computer. That's why you see the movement of it.
All right.
The desktop, just for the background environment, is just a picture. See, we can take, let's go and try it one more quick time and show you. We'll go up and get rid of this here. You say, okay, I'm going to change this. I want something different on the background. Like next week, we're going to talk about motherboard.
Start, control panel.
Right.
Wait a second. What was the next step? Is it display then?
Display, correct. That's right. So we go into the display.
Good for me.
Yeah, you're learning. That's good. And we go into the desktop environment. It says desktop.
Easy enough.
Yeah.
This is all memory.
Yeah, and then we're going to go down, and like next week, I'm going to be talking about the motherboard. So I've already put it in here. Here's a picture of the motherboard. I just click on it, and I'm going to apply it.
Now the motherboard is the brain of a computer?
The motherboard is the board that all the components run on, all the electronics, the electricity that comes into it.
So the hardware is the motherboard?
It's a piece of hardware.
Okay.
There's a chip that goes on the motherboard. Here, I can actually show you while we're here, if we get into this a little bit. Right there is your chip. That's where the processing, that's the CPU, the chipset they call it. When the electricity comes into the computer, it's all generated within that chip and then goes out through the other components. And here we can see that it's very complicated. You know, you don't really need to understand. Just like a car, we don't have to understand how the pistons run in order to get to the store.
Right.
But I can simplify it and show you, like if we built a computer, we're going to start with the motherboard.
That's amazing.
And this is a single processor. Oh, it might be a dual. I didn't really look at it. Like the big thing is that there's 2 chips on the boards now, so you got twice the power of the power. So.
Right on. That's amazing that someone actually figured this out.
Well, it's just not one person. It's actually machines building the computers.
Right.
There's not one person. If we had an environmental disaster like a plague or something and half the population went, there's a good chance that computers wouldn't be able to be rebuilt. Because they were back from the 60s. It was just so much. Right now, there's big machines that move like this. Whoop, bap, back, you know, and they build this and they put it together. If those machines stopped, a man couldn't sit down and rebuild this. We would be in a lot of trouble.
We have under a minute. Do you want to leave our viewers with some final tips?
Keep your mouse clean.
Good tip. That is actually a good tip.
Yeah, because it'll work better, and then you're error checking your defrag. Make sure that you run your adware every time you come off the internet. You should be running some type of spy program, because they're saying that there's millions and millions of the zombie networks. It's called Zombies Continues to Chase Windows. And what they do is the zombie network is I get into your computer and I use your computer to do my malicious things.
Yeah.
I don't use my own things. I want to use your things.
That's scary. You can tap into my computer.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you're on the internet, expect it. It's going to happen.
So make sure it's a registered
download. Yep, a registered copy. Do your updates every second Tuesday of the month, and run your adware, and just enjoy your computing. Don't be scared of it. It's something we have to learn to live with. It's the spyware, malicious software. It's advertising. Some isn't harmful. It's just a matter of, like, Microsoft likes to watch where you're spending your money so that they can send you emails to get more of that money.
Yikes. So thanks, George.
Well,
we'll see you again in a week.
And next Wednesday, yeah.
Fabulous.
Time runs so fast, doesn't it?
I know. That was George Tate, PC Wizard from Tate Computers here in Woodstock. We will be right back after the break, and we'll talk martial arts.
Daytime is sponsored in part by Allen Castle Building Centers. Their knowledgeable and experienced staff would be pleased to provide competitive price, quality lumber, and building materials to complete your project. Allen's Lumber is located at 668 Peel Street in Woodstock.
This program is brought to you by Community Employment